so in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I made this leopard Minnie Mouse outfit. I made the shorts from scratch, and the shirt is an embroidery shirt, as you guys can see, with the matching fabric and gold bow to match. So if you guys want to see how I make this outfit, make sure you please watch both parts. It will be a two-part video. We're going to have one video on where I show you guys how I make the shorts. And then we're going to have another video on where I show you guys how I embroidered the shirt on my PE800 embroidery machine. So if you guys want to see that, please stay tuned, continue watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, you guys, so now we're going to be making the shirt to our leopard Minnie Mouse outfit. So what you're going to need is you're going to need clearly your shirt. I just have an AJ Blinks embroidery shirt, size 2T. You're also going to need your fabric that you're going to be using for the Minnie Mouse head. I have this pink and gold leopard cotton fabric. This is from, I believe, Hobby Lobby. And then you're going to need some heat and bond. This is what we're going to put on the back of our fabric so it will stick to our shirt. After you're done, you're also going to need some Tender Touch. We're going to use this to put, after we embroider our whole shirt, we're going to put this in the inside of the shirt so it doesn't irritate the child. And then you're going to need clearly your hoops and your embroidery machine. I am using the PE800. You see, I have my design up already. You're also going to need either like an iron, a heat press, a Cricut Easy Press, whatever. I'm using my Cricut Easy Press because it heats up way quicker than my big old heat press. And I just have my Cricut mat here, and I already cut out my piece of fabric. And this is the heat and bond here. The heat and bond is going to have a paper side, and it's going to have a texture side. So what we're going to do for that is we are going to first, I'm going to press out my fabric so it's lays flat. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to place it on my heat and bond. And I'm going to make sure my heat and bond is smaller than my fabric. Okay, so I ironed out the fabric. As you can see, you do want to iron it out and make sure it's flat before you do this. So I ironed that out. I also laid it on top of my heat and bond. And I cut it to size. And now I am just going to lay my fabric face pretty side down. We're going to take our heat and bond. And then you want to make sure the texture side is laid on top of your fabric. And you want to make sure it's covering the fabric and not on the mat. So just like so. And then we're going to take our iron and iron that. Like I said, you could put like paper, parchment paper, whatever you want over this, just so you don't get glue on your iron or heat press, and so you don't get iron glue on anything else. Okay, so I also forgot you're going to need some type of stabilizer. I'm using cutaway stabilizer. Some people like to use tearaway stabilizer. Use whatever you prefer. I'm using cutaway. The rule of thumb is that you want to use cutaway if you're wearing the item. Now we need to place our shirt on the hoop. I like to float my shirt. So what I do for that, that's why I already hooped my stabilizer. And then I'm just going in with the 505 temporary adhesive spray. Just going to spray all of this with that and then slide my shirt over and adhere it. And you want to make sure you're putting your shirt the right way. So this right here at the bottom of my hoop, I'm going to make sure the neckline of my shirt is on here. I'm going to spray that. And then I'm just going to get my shirt. And as you can see, I already have a line here. But if you don't have a line, you could just fold your shirt down and press it in the middle. So you have a even line here. So as you can see, I have the shirt lined up with those notches. And now all I'm going to do, mind you, this is the inside front of the shirt. That's the part you want to make sure is facing, is on the tacky part. And then I just take my hand and I press it, and then we're going to open the shirt, and you're just going to press it as well. So as you can see, the inside, the back part of the shirt should be facing up towards you right now. And you just want to make sure you adhere that really well. And now you're going to come and put it on your embroidery machine. So I just push it underneath the needle. And you just hook it right to these hooks here. Now I already have my design up. I will go back to the beginning in case you guys don't know how to get to your design. So I have my design on a flash drive right here. So you plug your flash drive in, and then you will touch your embroidery screen, and it'll pop up to this. You're going to hit this button right here, and it's going to load your flash drive, and then you just have to find your design. So I just push this button to go to the next page, and my Minnie Mouse design is right here. So I will push that and hit set, and then you can move it, resize it, everything right here. I like to move mine closer to the top, so I hit move, and then I just press the arrow up until it gets pretty close to the top. I don't want it all the way to the top, but just more to the top, so I know my design is going to be at the top of my shirt, of my hoop. And then I hit OK, and then you hit edit end and embroidery. And now we are ready to embroider. So these are all our steps. So we have, the first one is a placement stitch. So it's just going to stitch out this black outline, and that's where I know to put my fabric. And then the second stitch is a tack down stitch. It's going to do this same stitch again, but it's pretty much going to stitch over my fabric to hold it in place. And then it's going to do the satin stitch, which is going to stitch the whole black part of the Minnie Mouse head down. And then it's going to repeat the same steps for the bow. So I'm going to do a placement stitch. So I'm going to place stitches. I'm going to put my fabric down. Then it's going to do a tack down stitch to stitch over my fabric to adhere it to the shirt. And then that's when I go in and cut around the excess fabric. And then it's going to do the satin stitch around the bow. Okay, so now what you want to do, you have everything hooped on. You want to take this top layer of fabric and you want to push it back under the needle here. We pretty much have to watch what we're doing since it's a single needle machine, and pretty much this whole part is where it's going to embroider. So you kind of just need to watch your fabric. I see some people, they get little clips and try to clip it. I just watch mine, especially with this one. It's not that many steps. It's 6 steps, 2 colored threads. So now you just want to make sure you put your presser foot down, and it should light up green, and that means you are ready to go. And I just kind of make sure the fabric is moved, and then I just basically sit here. I hit the green button, and I'll just sit here and move the fabric as I need to. Okay, you guys, so this is my placement stitch. And now what we need to do is we need to get our fabric that we have with the heat and bond. You make sure you peel off the back part of the heat and bond, this plastic piece. You're going to peel that part of the heat and bond off, and it should be shiny. And we're just going to place that right over our placement stitch. And just want to make sure all those stitches are covered and that this fabric is laying flat like so. And then you're going to put your needle back down, and it's pretty much going to stitch right over this and do the same thing. And we're going to hit go, and it's just going to stitch all around that. And that's what that looks like. Now we're going to take this off of our embroidery machine, and we're pretty much going to cut all around this right here as close as we can to the stitch. So now we got it off the thing. Mind you, don't unhoop it. Keep it on the hoop. We are just taking the hoop off of the machine. I go in with these little shears right here. They're kind of curved, and that just ensures I do not cut my fabric. And I'm literally just going to cut as close as I can to that stitch line without cutting the stitch line. Now when you're done with that, it should look something like this. I got super close to the outside. I wasn't super worried about the inside because we are putting more fabric here for the bow, which I did forget to mention. For that fabric, we are just using glitter HTV. This is gold glitter HTV, and this is what we're going to be using for the bow part as well. And now you do have to iron those two on. So I have this mini iron right here that I got right off of Walmart. I believe they also have it on Amazon. I will leave the link down below for you guys. And basically, before you do the satin stitch, you want to infuse your fabric to your shirt. So the heat and bond, we put that on the back of this fabric. That is what's going to stick to the shirt. And for the iron on, when we get to that part, you're going to iron it on too. This has automatically has adhesive on the back, so when we iron this up, it'll stick to the shirt, so we don't have to add heat and bond to the glitter iron on. So I'm just going in with my iron, and I'm just ironing over the fabric to adhere it to my shirt. So I just hooked it back up to my embroidery machine. I put my needle down, and then I'm going to hit the green button, and then it's going to start exactly where it left off. And then it's going to do this whole thick satin stitch right there. This is what it shows you right here, what it's going to do. It's going to take around 9 minutes. So I cut out the gold HTV, just a square this big. And what you want to do is you see the shiny part? This one has a carrier sheet over it. You want to make sure you peel that carrier sheet off. You do not want to keep this on. So just take that right off, and you should have something like this. It feels way thinner, and this we're just going to place right over. So you're going to place right over that area there. Make sure it's all covered, and we're just going to hit the green button again. And now we're going to lift our needle up. We're going to remove our hoop, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut as close to that black line as possible. And then we're going to go in with our iron and just iron over that. I like to take the carrier sheet I took off and just place it over that. And I just kind of hold it and press. Okay, so I put the hoop back on my machine. It's ready to go. It's going to do, the last thing to do is the satin stitch. This is going to take around 10 minutes. I also changed the thread to my gold thread, and we are just going to hit the green button. This is what it looks like. Literally, I don't have any loose threads or anything to cut. That's what I check. Oh, I think I actually do have one loose thread right there. So I will just cut that thread, and that's literally the only one I have. And then I just go and I flip over the back. See if there's any threads I need to cut in the back. And there really isn't any. There's just these few right here. So I will just cut those. And then I just go through and I get my lint roller and I lint everything. And then I get my heat press. and I just press over the shirt. Make sure everything is laying flat. And it's wrinkled free for the client. And then after that, I'm going in with my Tender Touch, and I'm going to cut a piece about 1/2 inch bigger than this whole design on each side. And we're going to lay that down. You guys can see that. That's like roughly how much bigger mine is. And I just placed it on top. There is like a really soft side and then a texture side. You want the texture side to be down. And then I'm going to just go in my butcher paper just to protect the garment. And we're just going to put my heat press over that for a few seconds. And now the Tender Touch is adhered. This is just going to help so the threads and texture of the shirt of the threads doesn't irritate the child. And now we're going to flip the shirt inside out and iron the rest of the shirt. And this is how the shirt came out. And now I'll show you the whole outfit. And this is the finished outfit, you guys. Super, super cute. The little ruffle shorts. My customers love this outfit.